Welcome to my show, Musings from 20th Street. My name is Dr. Jane Goldberg. I'm a psychoanalyst, and I am the owner of La Casa Day Spa on East 20th Street, which is a holistic day spa. We're here today for the very last 48th session of what has been the really real reality group therapy experiment we've been running for 48 sessions. I gathered together a group 48 sessions ago of people to see if we could do live group therapy and put it on TV and the internet. And here we are at the end of the road. So actually, I don't have anything to say as the introduction because I've never ended a group before. All of my groups they started a long time ago and they're still going, and so I don't know what the process is for ending a group. I guess it's a little like how it is that somebody talks about their imminent death when you know that you're dying and you want to tell the people that you love something about the meaning of your life and the meaning that they've had to you. So maybe it's a little like that. So anyway, I'm gonna give the platform to the group and see where we go today, and maybe we'll come up with some conclusions about what this process has been for us together, for us individually.
I want to know more about Dee. He was saying that we don't know who he is, and I'm really curious.
I just had a tough time explaining, being able to share my feelings. We always change subjects, and other things came up, and so I think people were interested, but for some reason I wasn't ballsy enough to, keep it up, to keep trying to put myself out there and interrupt, but I could never do it. So I didn't.
Well, what didn't you get to say that you would have liked to have said?
Well, there's just, different things every day that I have these experiences that touch me and move me, and heard other people able to, like Carol many times, explain things, certain things that happened to her and instances, and was able to, and we listened, and it was lovely, and we got from it. And I have stuff like that happen to me all the time. But for some reason, I didn't feel like anybody gave a shit. I just didn't think anybody...
I do.
Yeah.
I just didn't really feel that. And lots of times I was being Barb's friend and defending her because it takes a lot to defend because a lot of people are attacking
So this
her,
is interesting as a pattern. You asked in 2 sessions ago whether or not you were enabling Barbara or whether you were a therapeutic ally.
Right.
To her, and it sounds like in presenting yourself and caring about being a therapeutic ally and supporting her, that you sacrificed yourself.
A little bit, but it's because I gave up. But I had something to do. It wasn't like it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything anymore. I give up on myself. I'm going to help her.
Well, do you think that pattern might be related to why it is that you haven't been able to find a new relationship since your last?
Maybe.
Well, could it be one reason that I have that other people might have, which is, as you were talking here, came up to me that I, Walter, am selfish. At times I want attention.
Right.
And maybe a lot of other people, without realizing it, they want to have their say,
Right,
they want to
right.
speak, they want to say whatever they want to, and it overrides other people at times. And
That's what happened to
Maybe
me.
you've fallen back, like submitted, taken a lower place on the hierarchy.
I did. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's your own
midway,
decision.
actually, like probably mid through the. Because I was really quiet the first 3, 4, 5 episodes.
Right.
And then I got a little more talkative, but then I started getting shut down, so then I was just like, not purposely, nobody did it purposely at all, but just the way it happened, organically, just kind of,
Is that the way you are out there?
Not really, no.
No, huh?
No, I'm pretty out there. People, I'm open book, talk about everything, not shy. It's all kinds of crazy shit that sometimes people don't want to hear, but I say it anyway.
Well, if you have an opportunity now, what did you come here for in the first place?
I came, and I know it's against the rules, but I came with my friend Carol because we just wanted an experience, to be honest with you. It sounded like a cool thing. I'd never been in group therapy before. So I thought it would be, I've been in therapy before, but not group therapy. So I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be kind of a good time.
I notice you say this every episode that I've seen you on. You say the same thing over and over again.
What?
I've
What do you
heard
mean?
this
I never say
argument.
anything.
I've heard this argument from you quite a bit that you never
argument?
got what you wanted out of it.
I've never said this
He's
before.
never said
No, I've been noticing
John.
his attitude.
John,
and
John.
I've
behavior.
never said this
John.
before.
John,
Do you
You
And
don't
I've
just
been-
say, I
Do
don't
you-
even.
watching.
do you recognize that that was an unfriendly communication?
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
know
was
that?
true?
Yeah.
No, it was an
Forget about
observation.
who cares about truth.
Okay.
I care about friendliness and unfriendliness.
I do.
No, it's I noticed that.
That's what he heard.
it's
Well,
not-
no,
That's
just
what he heard.
answer my question.
That's crazy.
Don't talk.
Probably, you might be right.
Am I right?
You might be right. I might have been a little hostile unconsciously by
And
telling
why
you.
is that?
Yeah.
But I have noticed.
No, we're not interested in what you've noticed.
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of
We're interested
am.
in your feelings. What? Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Like, what the fuck? I've
Yeah.
never done. No, that's like
never
crazy
talked.
shit.
You
should
I don't
be
even
angry.
talk about myself. How could I
He
ever
did it
repeat
once
it?
in one
That's what I'm
show.
talking
That's
about.
what he
do you
heard.
mean?
It
It's
doesn't
his.
matter.
It's he always. I've heard this
I've
from. I've
always
heard this
what?
argument from him before. Usually talking to Barbara in a kind of in his.
But why are you
incidental-
angry at
No,
him?
he doesn't know what
I'm
the
not
fuck he's
angry.
talking about right now.
Yeah.
You have no
No
idea what you're
idea.
saying.
No, I
You
know
have no
exactly
idea
what I'm saying. I've observed.
no idea.
No, I'm not.
Since-
You keep
I-
saying that what you've observed. I'm not interested in what you've observed. I'm interested in what you're feeling and why you're feeling it.
I'm feeling it because I disagree with what he was saying.
What
I
does
felt that he
mean?
wasn't being honest enough about his experience with the therapy group because I've observed him and have heard him say on
John, you
quite a
could-
bit
you could-
about
you could-
not getting what
John,
he wanted
hello?
out of this.
He just said it
Can I-
now.
Because he's changed, right? Different now
Can
because
y'all,
we're in the
can
last
y'all let
episode.
me run
yes.
this group?
Sure, sure,
Thank you. You could not agree with what he said and not be angry about it. What I'm specifically interested in, if you're not interested in yourself, I don't need to be interested in you. But I'm here to be interested in people and what they're feeling and why they're feeling it. So the question again, if you want to pursue it, is why are you angry?
Oh,
Don't tell us it's because what he said is untrue and that you've heard it before.
He validated.
Because that doesn't have anything to do with you.
Because what it's saying is I'm working the method, the program, and I'm getting what you're telling me to do. I'm getting exactly what I'm getting out of it, what you said I would get out of it. That anybody who takes this will get out of it if they follow it and they don't let certain things, keep them from, saying, oh, well, fuck it, or, oh, well, it didn't do this, so I didn't say this, I didn't do that, I didn't push myself, I didn't assert myself, I should have, and I feel like that's where he was coming from. I felt like he was saying there were times when he could have, but he didn't,
Well, that's
that he
true.
gave up.
Because people cut
That's
him
true.
off, and
That's
they come
true.
into
No,
a
but I would have liked it
segue
if he
and
would have been
so-
more assertive and said, "Hey, wait a minute, wait," and then would have
But I
had
didn't
something
do
to
that.
say.
That's my
And I
fault.
think that
Apparently,
right,
I didn't do that.
right, but you said that there's so many things that we could have heard that didn't get
True,
heard, and
that's
I
true.
miss it. And I'm saying I missed out on that. I would have liked to have
Okay,
heard
but that's
those
not
things.
what
But
you
you
said in the
invalidated
beginning.
him. You so invalidated
Okay,
him.
so am I running the group? Thank you.
I have to defend
just
him now.
just trying to get in there.
Okay.
That's hard.
What do you think, Shanti?
About?
Oh, God.
Well, what's going on between the two of them?
Okay, you can address that. I'm happy to hear you talk about anything,
Oh, I don't
but
wanna
you
keep
could
going
could
with
address
it.
that. That's okay.
You heard what he said.
I'm stunned by the fact that this group is being as receptive as they are right now. I really am. There's been a real effort on the part of the group, as far as I can observe, to let them go at it without demanding that they be heard. And that's one of the few times that I've seen that, because there's a pretty powerful interaction between these two guys.
It's not
And-
ended.
They still have to finish it.
Cool, cool.
him
And
finish
I'm
it.
the last person in the world who want to prevent that from happening.
Don't be-
Because he really invalidated him. You invalidated him.
No, that's your point of view. That's your point of view. You cannot invalidate anybody. They allow themselves to be invalidated.
But it was an invalidating statement.
Well, then how did you feel about that?
I was pissed. I was shocked, actually.
Yeah,
that he
shocked and pissed. They're two different
I
things.
was shocked because I know him very well, and he always wants to talk, but then everybody goes off on a tangent, and it gets into an intellectual discussion about
I mean-
nebulousness and,
You'll get your chance.
If I allowed it to
Obama.
happen, I allowed it to happen, and that's fine. I didn't blame anybody for it. It's just what happened. But for you to say that every session I say the same thing is the oddest thing I've ever heard anybody say about me on this show. Because believe me,
He does not
Yeah,
I've never.
I remember.
Okay, so I have
quite
a
a few-
question. As the leader of the group, I assert my right to
Sure.
talk. Thank you. The question is, since this is our last session, are we defending against feelings of Molly's favorite feeling, sadness? Or so?
I would say irritation is probably more my favorite.
Are we defending?
That's a very big accomplishment for Molly because she's really gotten something, I think, out of that last session when she resisted copping to anger or irritation. Congratulations, really. Because I
get a
think
gold
what
star.
I've heard Jane trying to do is to tell you, which I know you know, that anger is the obverse side, the other side of the coin of depression.
Yes, it is.
And when one deals with depression, one is denying the anger.
That's true.
I wanna-
And there was resistance to it, but you cop to it, and then there you go, copping
Dr.
again.
Goldberg,
Great.
please,
I think
you gotta
that's
say some more.
marvelous. I really
So,
You know,
so,
you
so,
said you might have fun. Where would the fun be? I mean, like Paul was so upset. He
I don't know what
didn't
you're
have
talking
fun.
about, man.
Where's the
Okay,
fun?
listen, he's angry.
See, he's dismissive. I think he's
angry now.
dismissive.
He's
I'm dismissive
angry.
right now
He's
because
very
Josh isn't making any
dismissive, and I
sense.
But he
noticed
wants
that
to get
this
his
is
anger.
this
He's
is.
angry at you.
It doesn't matter. So what?
it
The
does
anger's a
matter.
legitimate
It is.
feeling.
so when,
he has every
when
right
the
to be
person
angry.
is on the bed and they're taking their last
Breath.
20 minutes of
Gasp.
breaths,
gasps.
is this what you do with the person? Do you
No.
just talk about all of the failures and all of the ways that everybody has disappointed everybody? Or do you want to come to some place of saying, of coming together and saying, this is what we had with each
It's
other?
interesting to me that, I mean, you haven't been on that long. What? How many sessions?
Yeah,
I can't
right.
remember.
Doesn't matter.
But fine. But the deal is, have you been pissed off at me for the whole time? And this is
That has
your
nothing to
way
do with
that
being
you-
angry. It's you're pissed. I'm not pissed at your anger. I'm being objective.
No. Why are you angry with me?
Oh, I'm saying I'm angry. I'm disappointed that you are not giving yourself the credit you deserve because you
didn't
sounded
say
like you were
that.
just
No, you
you're
didn't
dismissive
say
about
that.
yourself. You're
No,
dismissive
you
about
didn't
others,
say
and I
that.
felt like they were saying, "Hey, it's like this guy's kind of like he's kind of being a softy about everything here." He's like he should have just been a little bit more aggressive instead of saying, "I didn't get this, I didn't get that."
Dude, you keep
and then he
changing
didn't
your
get
tune.
this,
You've said
and this person
three
didn't get that.
different- you've
And I
done-
felt like it's
You're
dismissive.
insulting
So
him
we're
so badly right now.
I don't
So,
agree.
so all
understand.
of
Big chorus.
all of the people in the room with the dying person are just going to fight with each other.
Apparently,
Yeah.
but I don't.
We're gonna
I'm
go
trying to
down.
understand why he's concerned, but I'm not
That's
getting
shocking.
it
It's
because he keeps
Because
changing.
Paul
and
dropped
I don't.
out. I feel like Walter didn't get anything out of it. I feel Paul
Why?
didn't get
What do you
anything out of
say
it.
why?
I feel like people who left the
Get
group,
anything out of what?
who kept complaining that nothing was working or
He
this
said-
is
wait,
not
wait,
what they
just-
wanted.
John, he did
and then
say
they
he
never
was getting
listened to what
something-
Jane asked.
Do you listen?
Nobody listened to what Jane wanted, and when they
that's true.
complain that therapy doesn't work, is because they're not applying. They're not listening.
John,
to Jane.
do you listen to what
Of
she's
course I
saying?
listen to her.
No, a lot of times you haven't.
John, I wasn't complaining.
You're not listening now?
I was just explaining my experience. That's all.
Oh my
I
But
just
48
explained my
48
experience.
weeks is that's like a waste.
It takes time.
It wasn't a-
It's
it
like a
wasn't a
waste. I
waste.
feel like it's a
I-
waste if you're going to
Kay
come here
was
for 48
screaming,
weeks.
Well,
Lana
it wasn't a
was
waste for me.
screaming.
Then it's
It
like-
wasn't.
Not 48 weeks.
It wasn't
Whatever
a
it
waste.
was.
Okay, so I'm,
6
I'm
months.
going to go to
16
my
weeks.
advisor over here. Should I just let them be angry, or should I try
I'm
to
not
shift them?
angry. I'm just sort of
No,
like
should I-
baffled.
Yeah.
Just
I'm-
relax.
No,
I'm
I'm
baffled
not
too.
angry.
I have to
Should
identify
should
with
I
you.
let them just end this experiment with spatting and
He started.
catfighting with each other, or should I try to move them to a different place? What
I
do you
would
think?
like to be moved.
Well, yeah, I think
Out the door.
I feel invalid. I feel
really, it's
he
going to be hard to get an
invalidated
answer into you. It really is.
I would like
To
to
my
hear him.
surprise,
It's
too.
I would
so
like to hear what he has
hard.
to say.
It's so hard to really take in what a person is trying to say without arguing with them. Just recognizing that we may not see it the same way, but I think there's implicit in any conversation, any communication, an interest in knowing how the other person thinks and how they feel about what they think. So it's very, I think, when I listen to what's going on in this interaction, and then I hear Jane coming up and saying, you know, there's something happening to this group. It's the last opportunity that you have. How do you want to handle this? And he's saying, I want to connect with you. I really want to
That's
connect
not
with you.
what
That's not. He's not
saying.
connecting.
I know, but that's
His perception says that that's
subtext.
not what I'm
Yeah.
saying. His
So-
perception
yeah, well,
is
my
is the
assumption-
opposite. No, his perception of me is that he thinks I'm being somehow a
So
detractor.
you're concerned about his perception
I'm worried
of
about
you.
what he feels. Of
You're
course, or else I
worried?
wouldn't have picked on
You're
him. I wouldn't have
worried?
pushed his buttons if I didn't care about what he actually feels. Because he says nobody knows who he is.
But
So
John-
I'm poking him and saying, "Tell us who you are." I want to feel. I
Picking
wanna-
at him, pushing his buttons, and poking at him is not following what it is that I want.
And I thought you followed her implicitly.
No, yeah,
Very
no,
good.
you don't.
Very
No, you
good,
don't,
very good.
John.
I'm needling you, and I'm like, ah.
Okay,
I don't
John,
need it like
do you
I don't know what the
understand
hell that is,
needling
man.
is not
That's what I'm saying. You don't know
John,
nothing.
Hello?
All right.
Do you understand needling is not what it is that I'm asking you to
Okay,
do?
I understand.
He said he was not needling.
I just, you know, if
No.
you say, I don't
he
know,
wasn't.
I don't this, I don't that, I don't know the words.
He says that every time.
He
Says
never
it quite a
said
bit. He's been-
anything.
I've
Okay, I
been
want to
hearing
ask a
it.
question. I want to ask a question. How do you feel about the fact that this is the last time you're going to have an opportunity to do whatever the hell it is you do with each other?
That was
I wish we could continue.
It's not therapy if it's
I
not.
actually feel kind of good about it because this is
We're
the
talking about
most
the
I've
group.
ever
This is the last
been
time.
able to.
Oh, he's really
I
enthralled.
This is
actually
therapy. We
expected
gotta
more
keep it
out of this than what I
therapeutic.
got.
That's the
I
most-
didn't.
I'm done
I'm
with it now. I think
serious.
we're
Stay
finished.
with my
with
question, please.
I mean, I
I
expected
just want to
more.
make one simple
And-
comment
and we're
here
still getting the
about
same
John's
thing.
feedback to
Well,
Dee.
do
I
anything but
was
talk about their own
surprised
feelings.
to hear that from John,
just mentioned
and I
something
felt that
that
there
no
was
one
some
said.
measure of invalidation going on. I
agree with you.
Yeah, you were
also
invalidated
felt
completely.
that was not so of Dee. And
Thank you.
Because you haven't been here for
This is
48
just
Thank you.
seconds.
I just don't get it. It was
Can
very
we take a
odd.
vote?
You
Very
haven't.
odd.
Yeah,
You
surprised
were not
me.
here for 48
It was out of left
sessions.
field, baby. It was just a
Yeah.
little strange to me. but
It's bad,
that's
yeah,
fine,
because
whatever.
he's one of the most honest
cool.
people you'll ever hear talk. But a lot
He's
of
honest. I'm
people.
not saying he's dishonest.
But everybody
Yeah, I think so.
is off the tangent. Like he even said to me, it was just a bunch of crap because we're not really getting anything out of it because people are going off the tangent when somebody mentions something, and we're talking about.
So
this.
y'all want to
Yeah.
end with antipathy.
with what?
I just think
Antipathy.
failure is not an option to say that it didn't
John,
work.
John, you want to
I
end
didn't
with
say
antipathy.
No, I
you want
wanna
to end
end
this
with you
group
guys.
Putting
and
words
this
in your
experiment
mouth.
with antipathy. Well, that's what you're
I
doing.
don't.
You're putting words in his mouth.
I don't.
Or not
It's
putting
not
words in
over
his
yet.
mouth.
It's almost over, Walter.
I think it's going to be
Is
a
this gonna be
good
picked up
basic.
for another
Jane, I
season?
want to
God
deal with what
knows.
you said about my being
why
hostile to you.
would it be picked up? I mean, when all y'all want to do is argue with
No,
each
but
other.
I really
what's
don't.
interesting or
Jane,
meaningful about
I
it?
don't like to
arguing.
argue. I really don't.
I don't either.
I was just blindsided by
know.
that.
I know.
That's all. I was
People here
completely
have been
blindsided.
blindsided all 48
That's all.
weeks.
That's all. So that's cool. We'll drop it. It's great. I would like to help somebody get something out of something.
Well, you helped
I
me.
want to deal with
help me.
Jane's suggestion that my talking about saying that there are other ways, or I forget exactly what I said, but something to that effect, was hostility towards you. I did search myself, and I didn't feel anything about hostility. It didn't ring a bell.
Listen, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Some of you have had parents that died.
Yes.
Is this how you spent the last moments with
No,
them?
at all.
You know, talking about shit?
No.
Or
Yes,
did you
actually.
say something? Was there some acknowledgement?
I did worse than that
that
with my
this thing
father.
that we've done together, this life that we've done together, is coming to an end?
It's great.
I mean, isn't that appropriate to give nod to the fact that this process, this life we've shared together, is coming to an end?
Right.
It's
Yes,
grief.
yes, it is. But
Nobody
I did
wants
worse
to
than
talk
that.
about it.
I did
do.
worse than that, Jane.
I do.
Let
after
Dee say
primal therapy
something, Walter. He
intensive,
finally wants
I
to say
didn't
something.
speak to my father
Walter,
for 3
Walter,
months,
Walter,
and then he
we're
died.
here in this room right
gonna defend
now
you for that.
saying goodbye
You
to
never
each
said
other.
anything.
It's not about your father. It's about us.
You
and
just brought
right-
up a subject about the parent.
But what I know,
about the
everybody's bringing up every subject except leaving each other. I'm never going to see y'all in this
I'll
context
see you
again.
guys, so I don't give a
That has meaning. It stimulates feelings.
Totally.
But apparently nobody wants to look at that.
I'm going to be very honest
Well,
about
we're
it.
here
I
now,
don't care about some
aren't
of
we?
the people I've met here. If I never see them again, I will feel more at peace because I found that they were very, very negative. They brought a lot of negativity out of me.
And Barbara, is that the only thing that you want to say?
No, I wish I could have gotten more out of this.
Is that the only thing that you want to
Say
say?
good thing.
Okay,
All right.
we understand. So that, okay, Mom, listen, you just really disappointed me, Mom. I mean, you were a rotten mother, and thank God you're dying now.
No, I didn't want my mother to die. I cried.
But that's what you just said here.
No,
about this.
I wish it could have been different. I thought it was
I
gonna be
know,
different.
you've said it.
I
Do you
shoulda,
re-
coulda, woulda.
Is there something else besides that it was rotten and shitty?
All
and,
right,
and
I'm
I
gonna
got
be
nothing out of
positive
it.
here.
Good,
No,
good,
I
good,
didn't
good.
say I didn't get
Wow.
anything out of it.
No, but I haven't heard anything.
I'm gonna say
I
it
have
now.
only heard people complaining and bickering and nobody addressing that there might be feelings. I mean, I have to assume that this is the way y'all want to end. You just want to hate each
I
other.
got out of it that I can have a voice. So that's why I just interrupted you. I did get more out of it, and it's kind of an immeasurable thing. Like, you're just in life and you're in a situation, and you realize, I handled that differently than I would have done 6 months ago.
Totally.
And I feel stronger, and I feel better for having been here. And I'll never forget any one of you. Some of you I connected with more than others, obviously. But, it has been a profound period, in my life. To be able to have a voice, to be able to feel that it's okay to fill up my whole body with me. There have been a lot of
Well, I appreciate a lot of things here. I appreciate Shantae's wisdom, and I appreciate Walter and Barbara in touch with their feelings very
Apparently I
strongly.
wasn't.
I appreciate that, and I
Listen,
appreciate John, Molly, and Carol also, because they are very intelligent, and I have learned things from them, and I've learned things about the process. And if I offended anybody, I offended them because
No, I don't think you-
really
you didn't
was,
offend
I
anyone.
really
You
was
made
in
people-
pain.
Josh,
I was in pain.
Josh,
Yeah.
you stimulated feelings in people. You didn't offend anybody.
And I'm sorry I talked a lot, but that's just me, and I can't apologize.
No, Barbara,
That's
that is
nice.
just not good enough for you to conclude this by saying, that's just me. We are all in a process of change and transformation.
But some people
and you
take
need to
longer.
You need to stop assuming that you are set
Time's
in
running out.
concrete.
time's running out.
That you're set in concrete.
I feel-
Because time is running out.
Time is
running out here for us in this group, and time is running out for you in your life.
That's right.
Yeah, it really is.
You
I
need
know
to be
that.
open.
So get it.
You need to be open to transformation. It is not good enough for you to say, "Sorry, guys, I talk so much, but that's just who I am." You do talk too much. You need to not talk as much as you talk,
she's making
and,
it
sit
very
and let allow. No, it's not easy. It will be the hardest thing that you'll ever do, and it will be the most rewarding thing that you ever
Absolutely.
do. And if you take anything out of this process that we've done, it's that you have to allow people to have their own voice, that you have to let Carol come to know her own voice, and that you have to not just be able to talk for yourself, but you have to help her to have space to have her own voice. If you get anything from this process, I hope that that's what it would be.
I see. I'm insulted by that because I think I've brought Carol a lot out of herself, and I think I've done the same for Dee. I think we all three have connected. And you're saying we haven't connected. And
No,
Well,
I
she
didn't
didn't
say
say
you
that.
haven't
She didn't say
connected.
that.
say that.
She didn't say
I
that.
said that you have talked more than you should have, could have, would have, in order to allow both of them and everyone else in the room to have their voice.
So I'm taking the blame for all this. Is that it?
No, you're taking the blame for what you did. And
That's it.
and Dee's
I'm taking
taking
the
the blame
blame
for
for
what
what
he
I
did.
Totally.
That he shut himself off, I don't know,
Completely.
6 sessions ago
Exactly.
and stopped being alive. And I hope John's
Exactly.
taking the blame for that he gets that he's not supposed to be
The blame.
poking people.
The
He's supposed to
responsibility.
be processing.
Yes, you're right. I'm
Not
not
the
supposed to
blame.
be poking
Yes. And I hope Molly takes the blame for
No
that.
responsibility
She needs
for
to
it.
know that she's more irritated than sad when she's more irritated than sad.
Not
and I hope
blame.
Walter, yes, well, what difference-
Responsibility.
Responsibility. I hope Walter takes the responsibility that he, was in and out of cooperating with me.
I appreciate I hear struggle. I hear struggle going on right now in these last moments. And I kind of appreciate it. Struggle to communicate. It may
You
not
don't have
all
a
be
problem
love.
with
It may
that.
not all be kind of a caring, but there's
Like
enough
you.
care that
You're very
the core
right.
of you
don't
have
compare me to
continued to
him,
come
please.
and have struggled.
You're absolutely
Nothing
right,
like
Walter.
him.
I
And I
want to
wanna-
deal,
I wanna
please,
say-
Jane, with this thing about hostility that you said.
Okay,
have-
I just want to say something, and then if we have time, we'll go to it. I want to say, I really appreciate that everyone that's here has come to this in spite of the struggle, that we have all continued to meet, and the people that were here from the beginning through to the bitter
Yeah, and
end.
almost left a few times.
Carol, Dee, Barbara, I guess you the three?
That's it.
They were the original.
And Kay, who is almost
starters.
here in
The real strong
absentia.
ones.
And me from
She was-
number 16.
Yeah, you were here pretty early on.
but we were the
Halfway
originals.
through.
But I would like to say that there, if Dee's right, we did miss out on him, and I think that it's good to hear him say that, so that we can all help in other groups or family or friends or whatever, give other people a chance to have a louder voice and a voice more often, because we did miss out on Dee.
Jane, you talked about hostility.
And that's a
I would
jewel.
like
There's
to have
hostility
continued a
behind
moment.
my
Yeah, well, that's
talking
enough. We
about
got
other
that.
methods in the way that I
it's a lost
did.
cause.
And I didn't feel that when I first looked. What I came up with first was something very positive, a feeling of happiness in using my creative mind to look at what you're doing, compare with what I've done, and hear everything going around and searching for the different ways and trying your way and getting something out of it, but then staying with it in my awareness between groups and realizing there's more than this. And then later, I came to a feeling which came out to my mind as an image, where I was like kind of pushing you down and pushing you away, and I was standing up and I wanted to talk about my method. But then you came back in the picture, and we were debating, discussing, communicating.
Do you have a feeling about the fact that we're about 30 seconds away from
Bye. But nice to
Well,
know
I
you.
feel a little bit of warmth and like tears in my eyes, just
Thank
a
you,
little.
everyone.
Thanks,
Like
everybody.
looking around at everybody
We're-
and
let's bring back the
saying the same thing.
LOVE.
Thanks, everybody.
The LOVE. We need the
for
LOVE.
coming together and staying together as well as we
That
did.
doesn't exist much here.
Thanks, Sean.
God bless.
Hey there, thank you.
LOVE, everyone. Peace.
Yeah,
Peace
that's
out.
the beauty of a
Thumbs
group,
up.
actually. The beauty of a group is,
LOVE.
is seeing in each one of us ourselves, even what we don't like about ourselves. And I think that's what I've learned from this experience, is that each one of us has something to contribute to the other. Gems, and you know, and we're not always aware of it, and that's a pity.
Yeah, that is a
That
pity.
really is a pity.
Especially, we'll have to have a new show with him starting it.
Yeah, but if you could just take what's
Thank you, guys.
being given, you've got a tremendous gift.
Thank you
you
for
Thanks
helping
to my
me
fans.
to
I do
to
have a
embody
few.
this fantasy that I've had for a long time. Doing
Has it
Group 1
become
TV.
your worst nightmare?
It's been a nightmare and it's been a dream come true. It's
Well, it's
been
been like
but-
that for some of us too. Come on.
Well, how does it feel for you, Jane?
mixed.
No, about this is the first time that you've
Mixed.
had a death experience
says
of a
such a
group.
thing.
Mixed.
Mixed, yeah.
Mixed, huh?
We get
What
a
is
D.
it? But
We
what
get
does
a
that
D.
mean, mixed?
Mixed?
What does it mean
It
to
means
you?
I have pleasure and I have regret.
Regret.
But that's the human condition.
Yes.
That's life.
human
That's really neat.
Pleasure and thank you. I finally had a gem.
We'll learn.
You've got a lot of gems, lady.
Learn for the
Thank you.
next experience.
A lot of balls.
What'd you say? What did you say, Jane? Did I miss something? I didn't want to miss a pearl from you.
You know, it's been a part of my life, as it's
Yeah.
been a part of their lives for a long time. I mean, we've been doing this for like 6 months.
Yeah.
or
Well,
so.
I want to admire you for having allowed yourself to enter into an experience that you knew would have an ending.
It seems like a year.
That's, that's
You're
a big credit.
You're right. It's probably the only time I've done that.
Yeah,
You're right.
you deserve a lot of credit for it. It takes a lot of guts.
But that's us.